Hello everyone, CPAT here, bringing you another, I was going to say Yummy 2, it's not Yummy 2, it's Exceed, another Exceed video. This is of course the Just Grasp tournament run by Aunt Leo in the Breakfast Club Discord. It's just me today, no co-commentators or anything. A little bit of a chill stream, not even a stream, just a local recording here. We are going to have some, I believe this is in Losers Round 2 action. We have Banazama on the bottom half, right side of your screen, Rocket League Kai Kiske. Season 7, of course, was just released not too long ago online, and will be coming out later this year, the Guilty Gear season. And then Petersonian on the blue side, to be the top half of your screen, rocking the new 13 from Blaze Blue. So should be an interesting one. Kai, kind of an all-rounder, but definitely mid-range character. Really likes that range 2. New 13, of course, wants her opponent to be as far as possible. I mean, just the prototype of a zoner character, right? So it should be an interesting one. Let's see whether Peterson can keep Kai at bay. Unfortunately for New's actually not going first. New is one of the characters that actually really prefers going first, and gets like that huge advantage with just the free turn 1 strike, free gauge. New's a character that really likes gauge for her overdrive, which we can't see here, but surely we will see later. So it's a little bit unfortunate that Petersonian is not going first. It would still allow Kai to definitely move into a better range for him. Means New doesn't get that free first gauge, which is so important, given how critical the overdrive plan is to New's overall game plan. But it's me, Kai Kiske, going first. Guess we can take a look at the kit here while we're waiting. We have a range 4 move in Stun Dipper. Hits 1 to 4. It's fast dive like as well. Just a very good card. Vapor Thrust is a DP, range 2 only. But +1 speed, cancelable boost is also very good, I think. We have a dive like. We have... Oh, I think we have just a mulligan here. So I'd say there's no way Kai's striking at range 4. We have a dive like here in the 4-0 arc. Actually, not a dive like. Actually, like kind of like a weird spinning bird kick shape, right? Except it doesn't really have a whole bunch of guard on it. Only 3 guard on it. Dire Clat, we have a kick here. 4 speed, 4 guard, again, range 2. Fireball. This fireball is kind of middling, I think. Yeah, another +1 speed cancelable boost. Really good ultras, right? Like super focus, and then like tire cannon. As we see, Kai, of course, boost dash to move to range 1. Makes perfect sense to me. Really want to be at range 2, range 3 though. It's a New, just because New can obviously counter boost, counter assault. Just pushing Kai back, and then also getting a little bit like a change cards action, right, on it as well. So I think Kai probably won't, like, range 1 was okay, but range 2 and range 3 are pretty good for New as well. Although New's just going to initiate a strike here at range 1. A lot of New's cards don't really work in range 1. That works at range 1, so we're basically just looking at normals, right? I guess that works at range 1 as well, the Spike Chaser. But we're basically just looking at normals here, so Kai has to guess whether New's going for Grasp or Sweep, or like a Grasp Cross or Sweep Focus. Kai plays Focus. It's just a Sweep for New, so it's gonna be 4 for 4. Drops the Sacred Edge. That's a pretty good drop. That draw 2 cancelable boost is pretty good. As Petersonian remembers the basic how Exceed works. Yeah, 4 for 4. Sweep for Focus. Back to Kai here, still at range 1. Kai was the first gauge. There are 2 main ways to play Kai. The style of Kai that I like to personally play is I Exceed as soon as possible, then I go for a bunch of cancels. I really like +1 speed, cancel into mid speed. That's kind of my personal game style. Another way to play Kai is just to not really Exceed at all, but instead you can play for these ultras, right? They're a little bit expensive, but they're very reliable. As we see New initiate a second strike here at range 1. Is this one cross? Because Okay, so initiate with cross here makes sense because last turn, I feel like Kai would have played sweep to cover the cross, but Kai played focus instead, right? So Kai may be thinking, or maybe Petersonian thinking that Kai doesn't have the sweep, which would be cross or trade with cross super favorably, and so New just initiates with a raw cross here, or it could just be like second sweep, trying to get could be second like sweeper focus, just trying to get to that overdrive as quickly as possible. Obviously, Kai's not gonna be one to cross out to range 4, right? So you block. Actually, that's gonna be a grasp. Interestingly enough, pushes Kai back to range 3 instead of cornering Kai. I guess it's season 7, so season 7, especially Kai, has ways to get out of the corner, right? Has advanced keywords instead of close. But pushes Kai back to range 3. It's gonna be 1 damage. Kai will go ahead and boost Thunder Seal, and will cancel it. Moving up to range 2, and then we'll prep. Okay, interesting. So moves up to range 2, which is kind of the preferred range for Kai. Plus 0 to 1 range will break that speed curve, obviously, somewhat. I mean, Grasp now hits at range 2. But interesting, just using the cancel just to prep, right? Or thought Kai would have maybe considered exceeding there instead, because you get more draw value later in the game with your cancels, but no. Banazama opting to take that draw value now, as opposed to later, by canceling right away, just prepping. New just preps in response. It's going to be the Shock State boosted. Now draw 1, hit +1 power, gain advantage. So we have +2 power, +1 max range on Kai's side of the board, reminiscent of a Carmine there a little bit. Back to New here. I mean, yeah, it's going to be the aerial backflip boosted, retreat 2, if you're at range 4 or 5 strike. So obviously New does have ways to retreat. And then retreat and strike is very good here in this strike. So of course New spent the force, so has additional range on this strike as well. Has to, I guess Kai has to guess whether New is going fast or slow here, right? So something like a range 4 sweep performs pretty well, as long as you're not getting pushed. Unfortunately, it is a dive wild sweep. Actually, the dive wild sweep will perform really, really well here. It's going to be 5 total damage on the dive. And New just playing just a 4 to 5 focus, so that'll actually miss. That's actually a really, really tragic strike there. New just kind of betting that Kai would predict that it was fast, and Kai did predict it was fast, right? Kai predicted it was fast in Wild Swung. Unfortunately, dive is one of those options that advances you forward, and then New suddenly your focus at 4 to 5 doesn't hit. That is actually super unfortunate for New. And a lot of Kai's cards do close, right? That closes, that advances, and that advances as well. So 4 of Kai's specials there actually kind of beat the focus. So a little bit of a bet there from Petersonian does not pay out. It's going to be Kai initiating strike here at range 1. It's just going to be the focus in the sweep again. 4 for 4. Rips the second dive out of the hand of New. So New does have 3 gauge, so she can now go for the overdrive she wants. Of course, the New's overdrive is probably better when not in this position, but it's going to be New going for it anyway. So New's attacks now have +0 to 4 range, so they don't have that. They don't have that blind spot at 2 to 3 that a lot of New attacks do have. It also has hit you may advance 3. So overdrive goes off. New retreats further into the corner, doesn't actually do anything, and then now initiates a strike. So the attack's at +0 to 4 range and hit you may advance 3. Initiating to the +1 speed though, so I mean technically Grasp could boost a Grasp, right? Here, which would be kind of annoying. Cross from New would kind of just put her here. Like Cross gives New the most ideal positioning, I think, right? Because she advances 3 first and then retreats 3 afterward. So as Kai, I'm thinking I want to play to beat Cross here, if that's possible. Obviously needs a card like Grasp to do so, but That's how I would be playing this strike personally. You have the +1 speed on board as well. But let's see how Banazama responds to this. He might not even have the grasp. No, place the Fodder Arc. It's actually focus. Okay, interesting. Focus to try to catch the grasp, right? So of course the Fodder Arc will go first. We'll hit for 2 after armor. Kai does not advance past New, so we'll draw 1. And then the focus will go ahead, hit back for 4. And of course has hit, you may advance 3, so New gets out of the corner there. For free. It is now Kai's turn. Once more. Interesting thing to note about New's deck comp is that she's used 2 sweeps and 1 focus in the first 12 cards. So running a little bit low on slows, right? New's kit doesn't really have any slows. I mean, that's like that, I guess. But anyway, it's going to be just a dash. No cancel here. Oh, actually, we'll cancel it. So it moves up to range 1. Cancels it. Haha. Crosses over New just for kicks. Doesn't actually do anything. And then preps with the cancel. So anyway, New's Overdrive goes off again, retreats to range 2. Cross from New puts her all the way back at range 5. The issue with Cross is that Kai, of course, has a DP shape to beat the Cross. Doesn't have a DP shape to beat EX Cross, though. Could be EX Cross, could be EX Sword Summoner would be your fast options. But this just feels like EX Cross, I would say. Could be something jank like EX Assault or EX Spike, even. It's gonna be Kai just going for a block, and it's gonna be the EX Sword Dance. So this is an option that that beats both focus and sweep when it's EX'd, right? Because you can pump this up to 8 total power when EX'd. So yeah, Banazama just goes for the safe block here, which makes perfect sense. It's going to be... Let's see how much Force Petersonian wants to dump into this. Maybe if he has an Ultra, he dumps that. I don't think he dumps normal cards into this. Maybe he does. But Kai has a whole bunch of resources, right? So maybe you just let this sit. And yeah, Petersonian just lets that sit. Just a 4 damage Sword Dance. Kai spends a dire Eclat from hand. Builds gauge number 4. So of course these Ultras are now online. The Ride Lightning and the Sacred Edge. Ride Lightning just catches everything that he throws outside of Dive and Spike. Sacred Edge, surprisingly fast, right? EX Sacred Edge would be really good, but I think 1 Sacred Edge is dropped, unfortunately. But yeah, and then it's going to be 1 more turn. Although the last turn of Overdrive, of course, New will flip back. So Kai just kind of has to sit there. Can maybe just boost or something, yeah. Goes ahead, boosts the Faultless Defense. Moves into range 1, and then preps. So Kai really valuing this front side prep, and then not taking a turn to exceed, right? So it's a little bit slow to exceed, maybe in Banazama's eyes. So he just says, okay, I'm just gonna take the move and prep on front side instead of getting the extra card draw on backside, right? Because Kai, when he exceeds, can draw 1 every time he cancels, or the first time he cancels in a turn, rather. But Banazama not opting for that, just opting for the cancel prep on front side instead. Anyway, Overdrive goes off. New retreats to range 2 and then preps. Of course, has not built 3 gauge yet, so can't chain exceeds. But it's close. Has built 2 gauge. But this is Kai's turn to shine. Sitting at range 2, has 4 gauge to his name. Yeah, this is Kai's time to shine. Let's see if Banazama can take advantage of this, because as soon as New builds gauge number 3, it's gonna be way more. It's gonna take. It's not gonna be. I think it's not gonna be over, but it's gonna take way more time before Kai can really do anything again. Notably, I believe New still has access to EX Cross, which is a little bit scary for Kai to deal with. But anyway, it's going to be the Hope, canceled, moved to range 1, into a prep. Interesting. So really, really valuing that range 1 over the range 2 or 3 blind spot that New has. It's going to be the Ultra Space boosted for New. That's +1 speed. Hit. He may push up a 1. New on short side of board, so normally Cross doesn't perform super well, but Cross performs pretty well here. Loses, although it loses like random Kai things, right? Because a lot of Kai things just randomly have 3 guard. Like that's 4 guard, 3 guard. That's 5 guard, right? So this loses a lot of random Kai specials, but still a decent boost. Back to Kai here. Still has 4 gauge. Again, we don't know if Banazama is the type of player to go for ultras instead of... well, we know they don't like to exceed, but maybe the kind of player to go for ultras. Looks like Kai's going to match the speed here. Be just or be dead after the opponent's stunned, even if they're faster, draw 1. He's suddenly just sorting his hand. And looks like he wants to toss out 2 forests. Yeah, toss out 2 forests for the counter assault that we were talking about earlier. Which is why we were like a little bit confused as to why Kai wants to stick to range 1. Because the counter assault just pushes Kai back basically for free. So Kai all the way back to range 4 has to find some way to move back in. Of course, it's season 7, so they have ample ways to move in, and they can cancel as well if Banazama wants that to happen. But as it stands, Kai's probably going to have to move to range 2. Maybe range 1. I don't know. Kai's really been favoring range 1 here. To be the area shift. So this will actually pull New to range 2. Gets cancelled. So Kai will move into range 1. And then that second action will be... what? Can't prep here. You have 6 cards. Well, he can prep, but it's not great. Kai with 6 in hand, 6 in deck. New with 7 in hand, 10 in deck. Banazama takes a look at the discard. No longer has the 4th gauge for ultras. Okay, it's going to be +1 speed, cancel once more. So +2 speed, but at range 1. So, that's so weird. Why would you go to range 1 with this? Yeah, New's just going to block. It's just a 9-speed grasp with gain advantage. Okay, keeps New at range 1. Think Petersonian might spend a force here. Has 6 cards in hand. The Be Just or Be Dead gets no value. Looks like Banazama just preps afterward. Yeah, looks like Petersonian will spend that 1 force. Builds gauge number 3 as well. And yeah, just I don't know. I mean, sure you get your prep afterward, but I don't know what I don't really not a huge fan of this grasp here. Feels like it did a whole lot of nothing. 9-speed grasp. Anyway, it's at Petersonian's turn. Maybe thinking about exceeding once more. Takes a look at discard. I think the biggest thing to note is that Kai still has both of his DPs up. So when New will retreat to range 2, right? On her turn. Actually, it's going to be Kai boosting +1 speed. So it can go up to 9 speed with his DP. And New only has 1 slow left, right? Outside of, yeah, New actually only has 1 slow left. So I feel like anything that new plays will just get stuffed by DP. Petersonian, I mean, unless he has the second copy of Focus, will just get stuffed, right? By DP at range 2, which is a little bit unfortunate for the overdrive, but actually it's really unfortunate for the overdrive. This could be a potential wasted overdrive here for new. If Petersonian doesn't have the Focus. Just because Kai's like 100% going to respond with DP. New actually just goes ahead and Wild Swings, and yeah, there's that DP that we were talking about earlier. Spike is not going to do it, because Kai will advance into the corner, and Spike will go ahead and miss. And there'll just be 3 damage with the DP, just as we predicted. Does not stun, so Kai doesn't get the after and be just to be dead, but, Kai going ahead and initiating another strike here at range 1. New playing EX Cross, but it's the Ride the Lightning. Will catch the cross. Wow, EX Cross, no good there. Ride the Lightning. EX Cross will, of course, go first. We'll hit for, what, 2. The Ride Lightning will actually advance back in. And so New has a whole bunch of space behind her. And the Ride Lightning will go ahead and hit back for 5. Kai finally pulling the trigger on this Ultra. And that's a pretty good spot to do it, right? In the corner, so can't get dove over, can't get spiked either. This Ride Lightning is basically always just going to get free value. Not free, but always going to get guaranteed value. Anyway, means that Kai does get advantage. Although, advantage at range 3 is not great. This is kind of one of those, funnily enough, this is probably one of those places where as Kai, you want to stick to range 1, just throwing that DP. With only 1 copy of Focus left in New's deck. And no other slows. This is where you want to be threatening that DP. So if you move to range 1, and then New retreats to range 2. But, Banazama is still thinking here. It's going to be a draw 2 and cancels. Notably, Kai can look at the cards before deciding to move, but I guess Banazama knew he was moving to range 2 anyway. 5 in hand, 1 in deck. Maybe just go for a big CC. That's Kai. Just get a fresh hand. Your opponent won't know what's in and outside of that last card in the deck. Either that, you can spend 1 force to move to range 1. Would be another option here for Kai. I don't really know what else you could do. Depends on the contents of this hand, and of course we are not. We've not been rocking the card tracker at all. Maybe we'll do it in the future. I don't know. Maybe for the finals or something, we'll have the card tracker. But at this point, I'm just too lazy. I don't know what the second action was for Kai. Yeah, I think it's still Kai's turn. Yep. Banazama just taking a little bit of time here. Goes ahead, boost follows defense. So this +4 guard. We'll key charge it. And Kai reveals a hand of 6/7 Stun Dipper and EX Sweep. So my apologies. That second the second DP was boosted as the +1 speed gain advantage, right? That turn I really didn't like, by the way. I didn't like that turn at all. got rid of that second DP, which just covers so much of New's options. But hey, Banazama is still winning by 15-7, so not too bad. Okay, Overdrive goes off, New retreats 1. And then just goes and plays a single option. Was playing EX and then took one back. What is this, like Super Rage or something? Whatever it is, it's probably something that's just unbeatable, so. Super Rage would have both players at range 5, so the Stun Dipper would miss. Stun Dipper actually performs really well into a lot of options here, but Kai just a little bit too far away at range 3. So the Super Rage will put players at range 5 by the end of it, so that's what I'm expecting to come out from Petersonian. You can just wild swing here if you're Kai. The issue is you're leaving yourself with a handful of normals. And maybe that's not something you want to do, but you were leaving yourself with a handful of normals anyway when you didn't CC the last turn, so, well, whatever. Yeah, Kai looks like perfectly content to keep this hand. Wild swing's a block. Okay, so the game will be a little bit longer. It's going to be 3 damage Super Rage incoming. Banazama just goes ahead, takes the 1. And yeah, has lasted another turn of New Overdrive. It's still firmly in the lead as far as health is concerned. Looking at this hand, New unfortunately can't just like area shift end turn because New will be back to range 4 and that's no good. So really, unfortunately, you kind of do need to spend force here to move to like range 2. So you can be at range 3, I guess. You even move to range 1, but that's a huge expenditure of force. Although no, Kai can area shift cancel prep, move and be at range 2. Yeah, that actually seems really good. Yeah, move to range 2. And then boost badass. Also, yeah, also perfectly acceptable here. Overdrive goes off, move back to range 3. New with only 2 gauge, and yeah. One of the things we didn't really discuss is the actual matchup, but yeah, Kai just has free movement for days, and that'll give New a little bit of trouble, right? New is a little bit of a like New if she can't zone really has difficulties playing the game, so. Makes sense that Kai's been making ample use of the UA just to close in and make things difficult for New. Of course, with the badass, we are threatening a speed 6 stun dipper, which will stun out, which will beat any range 3 option outside of sweep. It's actually just me the air dash boosted for New here. Retreats back to range 6. Banazama now checking the last couple of cards. New has 4 in hand, 5 in deck. I actually don't know what characters these guys have. Alright, so it looks like Banazama is going to be rocking the Hakuin and the Soul outside of the Kai. And Petersonian is rocking the Mei and the Tao. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't think I actually caught the draft. Unfortunately, so I didn't see like the order, but these are, I'm pretty sure these are just the characters that both players play. So, makes sense. Anyway, it looks like Kai has to spend force to move in, which is a little bit unfortunate. Kai can just say prep and just say screw it, I'm going to lose the next strike. The issue with that is New builds gauge number 3 again, and that's no good, but no. Yeah, Banazama just says, yeah, I'm just going to prep here. New at range 6, so any card that hits at range 2 or range 3 will work here, right? Is it range 2 or range 3? Yeah, something like that. Of course, it'll be expensive. New will be down to just 2 cards in hand at the end of it. It's going to be expenditure of 2 force in the form of Calamity Sword for Broken Weapon. So shuffle your hand into your deck, draw 5. So Petersonian will draw all but one of the cards in his deck. Notably, does not build gauge number 3, so gives Kai an opportunity to move in. That's pretty sketchy. That's pretty sketchy, I think. Because Kai now has 2 more force than he had the turn before, so now certainly he can just move in for free. Not for free, but move in and still have enough threats in hand. So this is it's a little spooky. Maybe new has like an aerial backflip or something in hand to try to build that third gauge, but Kai's almost assuredly moving in this turn. Arrow backflip, of course, that boost that was used earlier. Retreat 2 if you're at range 4 or 5 strike. News options are getting extremely telegraphed here, though. 6 in hand, 1 in deck. And we know Banazama has been keeping a good eye on that, as should any good Exceed player, but... Okay, so it's going to be Kai boosting Hope and immediately canceling it, and then prepping. Huh, interesting. Very interesting. So willing to let go of this badass value. Willing to let go of it. Probably just this block, second block or something. To null strike next new strike, but it's pretty interesting decision there. Would have expected Kai to spend resources to go in, but Kai just says, I'm up 14-7, I don't really need to do that. And gives Petersonian another free strike if he wants it. This one can be paired with a reading. I don't know what the implications of that are. Like, you can read sweep and suddenly Kai has no sweeps left. Maybe that's important, I don't know. So Petersonian takes a second to think of what the best play is. We are half an hour into the game. Such are some new games. They go on for some time. Okay. Petersonian just gonna be spending 1 force. It's just gonna be grasping the focus. Should be no damage there. Banazama has 3 armor. Can't be pushed further away. New builds gauge number 3. Back to Kai here. I mean, New's almost certainly going to be overdriving, but Kai moves into range 2. All these 5 cards are known, which is a little bit spooky, of course. When New exceeds, she will draw 1 unknown card. I don't know if that's useful or not. I might have to leave in the middle of this. Didn't expect this. I thought both these guys were fast players, but just a slow game here. We'll get the game recorded for posterity, but maybe I won't do any post-com or anything over it. Is Peter starting thinking about Sword of Destruction here? I mean, surely once Petersonian takes Sword of Destruction, Kai gets rid of no normals, right? But yeah, no, thinks twice of it and then decides to overdrive instead. Of course, on overdrive, yep, we'll see a hand reveal. And yeah, this is a subpar looking hand. We see a hand of 4 or 5, Sickle Storm, Sword Summoner, and a block. So not the best looking hand. Those are all just really, really slow options, right? So we see Kai spend a force to move to range 1. New, of course, takes her overdrive, moves back to range 2. Where, of course, once again, the fastest thing is Kai's DP here, right? Kai's DP at speed 7 basically just performs super well unless New is on second grasp for some reason. So yeah, Banazama are doing a really good job of mitigating these new overdrives by just sitting at range 2 and then threatening the DP. Because what Petersonian probably should have done is just reshuffled way earlier, get those slows back into the deck, so Kai couldn't do this, but unfortunately that did not happen, and Kai was just able to just lord this DP over New's head for the last 2 overdrives now. Okay, let's be New initiating strike here, range 2. Yep, and Kai just mashes DP. Just as predicted. Dive is not going to get out of that. And New takes 3 more damage. And now it's Kai's turn once more. Kai can even just boost badass past turn here. I think. Just threaten that 8 speed EX grasp. And yeah, looks like that's exactly what Banazama is going to do here. Could even cancel it, but I don't think you need to, yeah. Okay. Boost badass ends turn. New second overdrive goes off. Can't retreat further into the corner. Has 1 card. 1 unknown card to the name. Oh, just goes for the Wild Swing? Yeah, that's no good. You just respond with the EX grasp here if you're Kai, but I mean, you have to just take a huge bet, I guess, maybe. If maybe Peterson feels like he has to take a huge bet here if he's new. We just play EX grasp here. And yeah, Super Rage is not going to do it. It's going to be game 1 going to Kai. Banazama, a little bit of a long grind. But yeah, just the free movements and then just Petersonian using his slows really early on made a huge difference in how this game played out. Just unable to get anything going in the last 2 overdrives, which is really, really unfortunate. By the way, this is a best of 3. Banazama can no longer play Kai. Has to pick between Hakumen and Soul. And then Petersonian can go ahead and counterpick. He can re-up with a New, can also play Mei or Taokako. While these players are making their decision, I'm just going to go ahead, tab out, make a thumbnail real quick. Our second players are drawing cards is going to be Hakuin into the new 13 this time. So pure Blaze Blue matchup. Petersonian sticking with the new 13. Let's see if he can zone Hakuin out. Should be an interesting matchup. I don't think I've actually seen this one before. New, of course, we just saw Hakuin. Of course, is the character that builds gauge for free and then uses that gauge on Exceed side and on unholy ways. Just absolutely decimate the opponent. Take a look at the Hakuin kit here real quick. The Ultras are really, really good. They're overcosted, obviously, but Hakuin on backside can make his gauge cost 0. So Shippu is just a super focus. It's 1 to 6. 8 power on if you're up close. Yukikaze says you cannot die. Very, very good. Massive also just a really, really good boost in general. Santetsu is a 7 power ignore armor move. So beats focus and sweep. 1 to 2, so a little bit short as far as the range is concerned, but still a very, very good card. Yanagi is your 1 to 4 crosscatcher. Slow dive shape, etc., etc. Whatever you call it, Tatsu as well. Anyway, it's going to be new Initiating Strike here going first. Oh no! Hakuin Wild Swing Spike throws it away, or Wild Swing's dive throws it away, but New reveals a turn 1 spike. New just not going for the turn 1 grasp crossplay. And again, Hakuin just comes in, or Banazama just comes in, and that dive beats the slow. And, oh, that's so bad for New. That's so bad for New. This is supposed to be gauge number 1 that's free for New, right? But, not meant to be. Dive will go first, hit for 5. Spike obviously will miss, and wow. That's so bad. Anyway, the rest of the K-Renka, we will kick shape here. With reach, Gurin, fast dive. And then Enma is a range 2, speed 6 move. Sure. Like a really weird, like pseudo DP, not really. I don't really know how to describe that shape. But, wow, that is so unfortunate for Petersonian going for that risk 2 games in a row of playing that slow instead of the fast and gets punished both times by the dive, by the Wild Swing dive. That is, it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. It's no sugarcoating, no sugarcoating it. That's absolutely brutal. Especially on New. New is such a ride or die character. Ride or die, whatever the term is. Can't think. Anyway, speed Hakuin boosting defend. That's +1 armor, +3 guard. Builds gauge number 2, of course, courtesy of the UA. Yeah, Peterson is just gonna have to brush that off and try to continue here. Oh, apologies, getting a phone call. I don't want to hang up on them, but I don't want to. Whatever. We'll let it rock. Peterson initiates strike here from range 1 into the defend. Probably just a slow. Fasts don't really do much here. It's going to be... It's an interesting choice for the Yanagi. Oh, it is a grasp. Okay. I don't know. It just feels like you pair this with assault so often, right? But instead, it's going to be the Yanagi. Grasp will go first. We'll hit 4-2, and Yanagi will go ahead and hit 4-5, spending a gauge to do so. But Petersonian down to 20, which is 2 cards in hand. Hakuin preps, of course, drops that second dive into the gauge. New will have to prep in response. Hakuin goes ahead and boosts massive. +2 armor, +2 guard, and additional range as well. New will run over to the other side. Takes the long side of board. Or it's no longer on the short side, rather. Anyway, still up here, Petersonian's turn, just thinking of how to get out of this. Range 3. It's not the best range for new. She has one non-curve option in the super range. Of course, Hawkman can go above curve here. Cursive the Massive, and with the card like Enma, right? So can't even strike here if you're new. This is now my phone. I hope you guys can't hear that. It'd be very unprofessional if you could. Parry comes out. Parry whiffs. We see a hand of 0-1 Spike Chaser Sword Summoner. As Hawkman builds gauge number 5 into the aerial backflip, into the wild swing. Of course, most cards hit for news when you spend the Fort Seer. Okay, Hawkman just going to play second Yanagi, hoping that new plays an option that advances her. Maybe an assault or a dive. Nope, it's just the sweep. So Yanagi will go first. Of course, the close will happen anyway, so it's not a big deal. Then we'll get swept in response. Or actually, wait, the sweep miss it. Wait, the sweep miss it with the sweep misses. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Oh no, Petersonian. His third slow just gets pushed through. Unfortunately, it is my time that I gotta roll out. I'll keep the game open though. No commentary, but yeah, no commentary. Yeah, I'll keep the game recording. Unfortunately, could not finish this, but I also thought the players would be faster. But yeah, it's been like an hour. But unfortunately, cannot cast any longer, but of course we'll keep the game running just to see what happens. But hope you guys enjoyed the commentary, and we'll see you for the next one. Bye bye.